Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at the S.H.Figuarts Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. Now this is an S.H.Figuarts Vader that originally I skipped on, and then few of you guys who are watching my videos told me that I should get this Vader because you think that it's a phenomenal figure, and I found him for a good price and decided to get him. And so now in this video we're gonna take a look at what this guy brings to the table, because at this point we have so many Vaders, not just from S.H.Figuarts but also from Hasbro and from Mafex. Let's take a closer look at this guy. Right from the start you can see that the helmet looks really good. This is probably their best Vader helmet that they ever made. I do have the Bandai model kit Vader, and that Vader has, to me, the best helmet, and this is probably the closest thing that I've seen so far on a 6-inch figure. The sculpt is great, shiny finish on the helmet, looks really nice. Of course there are no red lenses because this is Return of the Jedi version. The cape is a floating piece, it's not connected to the figure at all, and that's a problem because this cape has a wire in it. And it's a good wire, but the problem is that, as I said, it's not connected. If you want a kind of dynamic pose of the cape, whatever you do, if you want to leave it like this, it will fall down because the wire can't hold itself by itself. It has to be connected somewhere on the figure. So if it was connected, let's say here, it would hold its shape. And that's what usually these companies like Mafex, for example, do with these soft goods, these wired capes. But for some reason, S.H.Figuarts Tamashii Nations decided not to do that for this release. I'm not sure why. I know that cape is removable. That's a great feature because you can have capeless Vader. But for me, it's not something that I want to do. I'm not someone who needs this feature. I would prefer if the cape was glued to the figure so that the cape is more useful in terms of posing. You can always change the cape, make your own custom cape, or buy it from some customizer online, but you shouldn't be in a position to have to do that because you are paying premium prices for these figures. Now when the cape is off, we can probably see a little bit better the rest of the design and the sculpt, and there is minimum paint on this figure because that's how the design is, but it's nicely applied. Even these extremely small details are well painted. These boxes here with these buttons, everything is well sculpted and painted. Yeah, the glossiness on the armor looks really good. Another gripe that I have is this traffic cone of the tunic that really limits the range of articulation for his legs, you know. I know that there are people out there who are cutting off these parts and then swapping it for soft goods, and that's probably the best way to go if you want to get more range out of the articulation for this guy. I'm not someone who wants to destroy the original look of the figure, so I'm not sure if I'll do that. But for posing video, I didn't do that because I want you to see his posability as the figure is originally, you know. They gave you soft goods cape but went with this for the legs. So I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. Let's now take a look at his accessories. He comes with an interchangeable unhelmeted Anakin head that we saw at the end of Return of the Jedi, and I mean, this is a beautiful sculpt. All of these small details in the sculpt, the way that the eyes are painted, the scars, the burning marks, all over the head, and even these technical details on the collar, and even here on the inside, these breathing apparatus and all those small technical details, it's all in there and it's all painted. Just beautiful sculpt by Tamashii Nations. Then he comes with an interchangeable lower arm that, as you can see, has to be interchanged in the elbow joint, and that can be a bit scary, but with a little bit of heat it can be done fairly easily. And this is of course the throwback to the scene where Luke cuts off Vader's hand in their final battle. Here you can see that there are a lot of these sculpted and well painted details of the prosthetic hand that is cut off. He comes with interchangeable hands, and all of these that I will show you come in pair. And so we have this open palm force using hand, then pair of relaxed hands, pair of lightsaber holding hands, a pair of choking hands, a pair of pointing hands, and another pair of relaxed hands. He also comes with his lightsaber, and you get the hilt that is in the box attached to the belt of the figure, and then you get the fully ignited lightsaber with the blade that is not removable, and the sculpt is great as always. A lot of small sculpted details, painted details. The blade is nice, translucent, and it's long. It looks really good. While we have our Vader here without his cape, let's take a better look at his articulation. His head, helmet are on a ball joint, and that gives us a great range of movement. As you can see, he can look down this much, up this much, and this is amazing for this type of character. The head can move side to side, it can rotate 360. We have a butterfly joint and a drop down for the arm. This shoulder piece is a separate piece so that it gets out of the way for the articulation. His arms can move out this much and they rotate 360. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and standard articulation in the wrists where there is a ball peg. We have a cut here in the torso where you can see that the tunic does not go down all the way and then it continues down here, and this should be the same part of clothing, but for the articulation's sake it stops here so that we can get a movement like this of side to side and rotation like this, and then he can crunch forward this much, back this much. We have a drop down hip, a thigh swivel, his legs go forward this much but back this much, and it's limited because of this hard plastic. No boot cut, but we get a double jointed knee. The feet go forward this much, back this much. We have a toe joint and an ankle pivot that could be a bit better. And this is also one of my bigger gripes for this figure. The ankle pivot is not as good as you would expect out of the S.H.Figuarts figure. You will see in my posing video, I tried my best to give him as many dynamic poses as I could with these ankles. I also wanted to mention that the upper part of his helmet is removable like this, and there is a huge hole at the top of his head with a peg inside, and then when you remove it you can see in the back that again we can see the back side of Anakin's head. Let's now compare our Darth Vader here with few other figures. Here he is with Star Wars The Black Series A New Hope Darth Vader and Bandai model kit Return of the Jedi Darth Vader with custom soft goods. And you can see that Black Series and SHF versions are practically identical in terms of height, and SHF version even has those drop down hips so that you can make him a bit taller, and the model kit is taller than these two guys and still looks amazing even though it's cheaper than this guy. And when you add soft goods like I did here, Bandai model kit looks amazing. Here he is with the S.H.Figuarts Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi and the S.H.Figuarts Return of the Jedi Jedi Luke Skywalker. Here he is with the Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper and the Black Series Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Here he is with Marvel Legends House of X Wolverine and Marvel Legends movie Deadpool. Here he is with Mafex X-Force Wolverine and Mafex Spider-Man Classic Costume version. And finally, here he is with few McFarlane Toys figures. We have him next to movie Superman and Battle Damage Batman. And obviously these are 7-inch figures. So all in all, this Darth Vader looks really good. For the most part, I'm satisfied with how it turned out. I do have some gripes, as I said. The cape could be attached to the figure so that it could be easier for us to pose the cape. And also I'm not a fan of that lower tunic that is made out of rigid plastic. I don't know why they did that, why they didn't use the soft goods for that lower part. The ankle pivot could be much better, but for some reason it's limited on this figure. Those are minuses, but the rest of it, he looks amazing. The helmet looks beautiful. The amount of accessories, the interchangeable Anakin head is sculpted beautifully. Lightsaber, the amount of interchangeable hands, it all gives you so many options for your display. A posing video for this figure will be in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. And that's all I wanted to say for this video. Thank you all for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next one.